Hello guys, this is Pavel Oskorov with you again from Laravel Daily Team, and I'm back to my YouTube channel. Last couple of weeks have been pretty busy for me, so I didn't prepare any demo videos for now for those who are following my channel, but I'm getting back to it, definitely. Just today I have a few minutes to share some thoughts with you on a kind of philosophical note. My last philosophical video about seven things you need to know to get clients in Laravel went really well with a lot of likes, so I decided to shoot something like that again. So today's topic is what are the additional skills that you need to adapt and learn and master to get the clients and to deliver successful projects. Because for us developers, it seems like the result of our job or of our work is basically the code delivered to the server, to the repository, installed, deployed, and project launched. In fact, it's not the case. There are a lot of additional things that are needed for a project to be actually successful. So I have 4 tips for you, 4 things you need to learn to make project better. Thing number 1 is English language. Really simple thing, right? So I'm talking to you guys who are non-native speaker, as I am. I was born and raised in Lithuania. In Baltics, we have English lessons in school, and it's like primary language for like primary foreign language. But I thought I could speak English until I moved to London. So I went to live in London for 3 years, and only there I actually learned how to speak English with real environment, real people, real conversations, fast talking British guys with some weird accents and stuff like that. So only real conversations, only real communication actually teach you how to speak any language basically. But you have to learn to speak English because more and more often I see new clients come to me saying like, okay, could you help us with the project because we had a guy or a team from like some country and they weren't good at communication, so we spent and wasted a lot of time just to explain things how they should be. So clients aren't happy with that. Clients prefer to communicate well on a conversational basis, like I'm doing to you guys, just talking to the camera. But I assume you're listening to me there. So yeah, learn English, not in terms of grammar or rules or some writing skills, but I mean conversational English, just so you would be able to speak clearly, explain things to client, understand the client. These are really invaluable skills for modern market, which is international but also English based. And also it will help actually to understand coding coding tutorials, forms, Stack Overflow, Laracasts, anything like that. So it's all in English. So first thing you would actually the fun fact, I'm asked quite often what programming language should one learn. So if I'm just a starter, a junior developer, I mean wanna-be developer, what language should I learn? And I always say English. So it's not about programming language first. So it's English first and only then some programming language. So yeah, skill number 1, it's English language. Skill number 2 is actually writing, expressing your thoughts in written form. Because most of the projects, especially serious ones, require some kind of documentation. Communication is done via some project management system or email. It doesn't matter, email or Trello, Asana, Basecamp, whatever you use, Jira, anything like that. You have to be able to express your thoughts in written language. And not only that, the biggest challenge here is not to, again, it's not about grammar, it's not about rules of the language. It's about other person to understand you. So you would have to, the challenge here, the biggest challenge that I see, there are 2 kinds of problems with people communicating in written form. First thing is that they don't communicate enough. They just write down, for example, the summary of the day, so what has been done on this task. So it just one sentence of like done, please check, or something like that, which doesn't really help a lot. On the other hand, to deliver the task, you could write like 3 paragraphs with a lot of text and no one would actually read that. That often happens actually with documentation, because usually if you prepare a big documentation for your software tool, no one will actually read it because no one has time these days. So the truth is somewhere in the middle. You have to communicate in a way in written form, so other person would be comfortable with reading and understanding it. So imagine how you would write it to yourself, how you would want to read it. So it's just a common thing, common sense, but as they say, common sense is not that common these days. So, but anyway, you need to learn writing skills, at least to some extent, to be able to communicate effectively. But that's actually related. Thing number one is English language. Thing number two is writing. Again, in English probably, but not necessarily. If your team is not English spoken, you can use other language. So thing number two is writing skills. Thing number three is negotiation, which is weird, right? So what is like development and negotiation? That's totally different skills. Not exactly. We are, if you notice, like things around us, we negotiate every time. So, for example, talking to my wife who would take the kid from the nursery today, our little daughter, negotiating with your boss about the salary or vacation or work from home, that's another thing. Negotiating with freelance clients about rates, about delivery dates, about various things. So it's negotiation everywhere. If you want to raise your point to someone, even between your teammates. So, for example, you have to convince someone to code something in your way. So you have to present the arguments. For example, why use Laravel over Symfony or CodeIgniter or whatever, or why use Vue.js or why use NoSQL, for example. You have to present your argument and negotiate. Negotiate with clients, negotiate with teammates, because the other way around. So otherwise, if you don't negotiate, then you will always accept what has been decided for you. So if the client comes with idea and you just nod and say, yeah, okay, we'll do it, but without expressing your opinion, you will probably suffer quite often from things done not your way, and then you will blame client probably for giving bad ideas. But whereas you could have negotiated and presented your opinion and stand by it and negotiate. So negotiation skills are really important in everyday life in general, and in development too, because it's always teamwork. And even if you're a team of one, you have a client or you have a boss or your customers, someone on the other side that you could potentially negotiate with. So skill number three is negotiation. And finally, skill number four, which is not actually a skill, well, you could call it a skill, which comes from all those three together. I'm talking about respect. Respect and teamwork is actually pretty related. So whatever you do in your career, you're not just writing code. You're working with people. You're working with, again, your teammates, your client, your customers. So if you do all your work with things like you have to respect someone else's time, for example. You cannot just go and interrupt someone else just without asking, do they have time for you? At least knock on the door or something. You cannot just uh, tell to the client, here's the code, you will figure it out. If you think it with respect, you would at least explain something and save someone else's time. For development, it's usually about respect for the time, because everyone is busy, everyone has a lot of work. So if you respect your teammate or your client's time, and thinking about it, client is your teammate. If you're aligned together with one goal is to deliver the project, it is like it's teamwork anyway. Client is kind of more important because they pay money technically, but it should be a teamwork with mutual respect. So if you do a lot of things with respect to other people, it will solve a lot of problems, potential problems in the middle of the project or at the end of the project. So these are quick thoughts. Apologize for my shaky voice and probably a little lost train of thoughts because it's early morning for me, 7:30. But I hope you get the message. So I will repeat four skills. They are also called soft skills. So if you Google developer soft skills or engineer soft skills, there's even a book written called Soft Skills, which I kind of recommend. You could find a lot more of such things like empathy, like willingness to learn, all of that thing. But I've expressed four. So number one is English language, number two is writing, number three is negotiation, and number four is respect. So four things which are not related to coding at all, but will help you in your current and future projects, and I hope it will help. If you want to support me and my channel, please visit our tool quickadminpanel.com, and maybe you will use it for your admin panels. And see you in the next videos of Laravel Daily Video Channel.